As American Catholics, there's a lot of things in the news that can upset us. There's a lot of things going on in our country and our world that seem completely opposite from where God's kingdom wants us to go. And during these last few weeks of the liturgical year in November, we heard a lot of gospel stories about getting ready, about being prepared, being watchful, for the Lord will return at an hour we do not know. And I think those readings and those gospel warnings can scare us and reassure us. They reassure us because we recognize we are called for something better than what this world has to offer. But they can also scare us, because let's be honest, I think most of us want a little more time to get our act together before we have to stand before God. And that's why this season, right before the church year ends, year after year, calls us to live today as if it were our last. And again, let's be honest, we all have so many responsibilities, so many things weighing on us, so many day-to-day demands that sometimes our relationship with God and making sure we're living rightly in God's kingdom can get pushed to the sidelines. They can get forgotten about with all the other things demanding our time and our attention. And that's why the church gives us this end of the liturgical year right before Christ the King to remind us we can't forget about what really matters. Because, my friends, the scriptures remind us again and again, at an unexpected hour, at an unknown day, God will come. And not only at the end of time, but when we pass from this world to the next. So that bet we all have that I'll get my act together, I'll put things right, I have time to start doing the right thing, is not really a good bet. The odds are against us, because Jesus reminds us it's going to happen when we least expect it. And how do we get ready for something so unexpected? Something that we can't plan for, something that we can't schedule? By living today as if we were ready to meet the Lord. I've often shared this story in homilies that my 7th grade nun, Sister Mary Francis, used to tell us before we left school every day, live today as if it was your last, because you never know, it just might be. Now in 7th grade, we mercilessly made fun of her because we didn't understand that. But there's wisdom there. If today and every day I'm living as if I'm ready to meet God, then if he comes next week, next month, or 100 years from now, I have nothing to be afraid of, because I'm living as I should. And my friends, how often we forget that? How often we get sidetracked, distracted, or forgetful? And that's why these gospel readings need to call us back to what really matters. To live each and every day as if it were our last, so that when Jesus comes, it's not a day of fear and trepidation, but it's a day of rejoicing. It's a day of joy. It's a day that we've been longing for. It's the day that we've been living for. Not a sermon or not a homily, but just something for all of us to think about.